Maybe right now you're exhausted from chasing something. Maybe there's something you've been waiting for years. A door. A person. A breakthrough. A moment of peace. And no matter what you do, it never seems to come. The more you chase it, the further it feels. You want it so badly, but it still doesn't happen. And now you're exhausted. Not just physically, but spiritually. So tired that you've started asking, why isn't this happening for me? Why does everyone else seem to have what I don't? Why is this so hard? And in that exact moment, remember this. Sometimes what you're chasing only arrives when you stop chasing it. When you release it, life starts to flow again. But there's something deeper you need to understand. Before a major shift enters someone's life, there are signs, patterns, stages, inner movements you don't always recognize at first. And if you're experiencing any of these right now, don't ignore it. It may not be a setback. It may be preparation. Because sometimes, what feels like delay is actually alignment. Listen carefully until the end. Because these 5 signs can completely change the way you understand your life. The first sign, closed doors. Before what is meant for you arrives, doors often close first. It feels painful, confusing, even unfair. Because you think, if something good is coming, shouldn't things open? But life doesn't always work that way. Before the right door opens, the wrong ones must close. Sometimes what you call rejection is protection. That opportunity you lost? It may have drained you. That person who left? They may have broken your peace. That path that didn't work out? It may have taken you somewhere you were not meant to stay. You only see what you lost. But you don't see what you were saved from. And sometimes, the door doesn't only close outside of you. It closes inside you too. The desire fades. The attachment weakens. What once felt essential, no longer feels important. It's strange at first. But sometimes that coldness is protection in disguise. A quiet redirection away from something that wasn't meant for you. So if something recently closed in your life, don't rush to force it open again. It may have closed for a reason you cannot yet see. The second sign, loneliness. Before something meaningful enters your life, loneliness often appears. Not always physical isolation, but an emotional one. People drift away. Connections feel weaker. You feel unseen, even in crowded places. But this kind of loneliness is not punishment. It is transformation. Because when everything quiets down around you, something begins to wake up inside you. You stop performing for others. You stop explaining yourself constantly. You stop living through approval. And slowly, you begin to meet yourself. Not the version shaped by others, but the version that has always been there. Loneliness removes distraction. And in that silence, something sacred happens. You start hearing yourself again. And maybe more importantly, you start hearing God again. Sometimes people leave not to punish you, but to make space for clarity. And sometimes isolation is not loss. It is preparation for something aligned. The third sign, delay. Before what is meant for you arrives, life slows you down. Nothing moves at the pace you expect. Everything feels paused. And you begin to wonder, how long will this take? But delay is not denial. It is development. Because not everything is ready when you are ready for it. Some things require timing. Some things require maturity. Some things require a version of you that hasn't fully formed yet. Think of a seed. You plant it, and nothing happens immediately. No growth above the ground. No visible change. But beneath the surface, everything is happening. Roots are forming. Strength is building. Structure is developing. If you rush it, you destroy it. And life works the same way. What feels like nothing is happening is often the most important stage of everything happening. So if you are waiting right now, don't assume nothing is working. Something is growing, even if you cannot see it yet. The fourth sign: trials and hardship. Before what is meant for you arrives, pressure increases. Life feels heavier. Emotions feel stronger. Everything feels like a test. And you ask yourself, why now? But sometimes hardship is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something is being strengthened. Pressure reveals what is real. Gold is not purified in comfort. It is refined in fire. And human beings are no different. Hardship removes what is unnecessary. Ego, impatience, illusions of control. It strips everything down to truth. And in that state, something changes. You stop relying only on yourself. You begin to look deeper. You begin to return inward. And often, you return to God. Because when everything is easy, people forget. But when everything is heavy, people remember. And within every difficulty, there is a hidden promise. This will not last forever. Even the darkest night eventually ends. Even the hardest season eventually shifts. No storm lasts forever. The fifth sign: surrender. This is the final and most difficult stage. Because surrender means letting go of control. Not giving up, but releasing the need to force everything. It is the moment you say, I cannot carry this alone anymore. The mind resists this. The ego resists this. Because it wants certainty. It wants control. It wants guarantees. But life eventually brings everyone to the same realization. You were never in full control to begin with. Surrender is not weakness. It is alignment. It is trust in something greater than your current understanding. You do your part. You try. You act. You move. But you release the outcome. And something shifts when you do this. The tension reduces. The resistance fades. The constant chasing stops. And what is meant for you begins to move toward you naturally. Because sometimes the more you force something, the further it moves away. Now there is space. Now look at your life. Which of these 5 signs are you experiencing right now? Closed doors, loneliness, delay, hardship, or surrender? Maybe more than one. If so, don't panic. You may not be falling behind. You may actually be being prepared. Because before anything meaningful arrives, life shapes the person who will receive it. And when the timing is right, what is meant for you will no longer feel distant. It will feel inevitable. May God's love, peace, and blessings always be with you. And remember, no matter how difficult life becomes, you are never alone. God is always with you. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like, and stay connected for more messages that inspire faith, bring healing, and fill your soul with peace.